Today we're going to do an advanced training session with knife hand strikes. We've looked at a previous knife hand video looking at the basic outwards knife hand strike and now introducing the inwards knife hand strike. And we're going to cover those very quickly and then start to put a few more moves together for you. So in guard position there, just covering the basics again, squeeze the fingers, bend them at top, thumb comes into towards the side. We're going to hit with that part of the hand there. That can work, it's a backup. That's our primary striking tool. Fingers don't get involved at all. From the shoulder, spin back and strike through. A bit like a back fist strike. There's the back fist, but the difference is now the arm is straight. That's going in towards the side of the neck and towards the front of the throat there. So from guard position there, to make sure you've got plenty of room for you. So from here, shoulder, spin, strike, back to guard, nice and tight. Ready? 1, back to guard. 2, back to guard. 3, back to guard. 4, back to guard. 5, back to guard. Jump change. From here, shoulder, spin, touch. You don't have to touch your shoulder, but towards your shoulder. Spin, keep looking forward. From here, get a bit of power, but get that control there. Let's do a couple more. Get that technique practice. Good. Jump change. Just a quick refresh. If you're not sure of that technique, look back at previous week's videos. There's a video there on the outwards knife hand strike. Basic movement there. Slightly more advanced, inwards knife hand strike. Up and towards the throat, perhaps side of the head, philtrum area here. So we're going to pull back, body and arm go back together, and the body comes through, the arm comes through, shoulders locked pretty much a limited movement there in the shoulder. As we come through, the body turns, and this time, thumb is going to go from here across. We're going to hit with that triangular bit there, again covered in more detail in the previous video. Pull back. I'm going to strike in, back to guard here, bang, strikes, big move. If you have punch bags at home, okay, when you use the punch bags in the clubs, this has a great impact, probably one of the strongest moves, particularly when we do it off the back, which we'll cover in a moment. So again, pull back here, and again, bring the arm up, try and get up nice and high, as soon as possible, and let it come up here, up and towards the throat, head level, okay? Striking up and back to guard. Striking up, back to guard. Try and bring this arm back as soon as you can. Strike up, back to guard, strike up, back to guard. Now what's most important here, and again take your time with this move, new move, I don't want to hurt your shoulder, is you make sure this shoulder pulls right back. I'm sideways on here. Shoulder, shoulder, elbow, wrist, all in a nice straight line. The moment this starts to come in, you can hurt your shoulder, jars a little bit here. The technique still works, but it's not strong. Get your body turning, get the body and the arm all moving through together nice and straight. Very little shoulder movement. Let's have a quick practice now. Inwards knife hand strike. The hardest bit in all of this is taking that across and then trying to get back into guard position from there. So again here, 1, and back to guard, 2. And again, it's much easier when there's a hand pad or a bag in front of you. That's it, keep looking, try and look down the arm as you strike. 1 more. Good, quick jump change, and again from here pull back. I'm going to strike, make sure thumb comes back, turn, see how my body is doing the work there, back to guard from there. 1, and strike through, 2, and strike through, 3, and here 4, and so I'm just slowing it down so you can see it, do a couple more, back to guard, there. Good, and obviously we wouldn't probably end up doing one on the row. Maybe we've done a kick first, then we stepped in, then perhaps we've done another technique behind. So normally this would be done as part of a combination. Black belts will know we start to do a lot more combination of bags and apparatus as we start to learn the moves. We've learned the moves first at combat level, then they all start to come much more freestyle, much more fluent, more natural at black belt level. Okay, so let's move on. Let's now have a look at the inwards knife hand strike off the back arm. This is the big power strike. So the inwards knife hand strike now off the back arm, one of the big power moves in towards the body this can go. Again, side of the neck and towards the face, the throat. To be honest with you, anywhere here is going to be pretty effective for the level of power you've got in it. Now, what we haven't got is the punch bag in front of us, so look, you need to control this move. And actually, doing this to thin air is a really great way to make sure that you get these techniques perfect without over-hitting, without under-hitting. You understand the power much better when you haven't got a target in front of you. Once you've perfected all that, then hitting the target's very easy to do. So what we do from here, we've just looked at it from the inside, from the front hand, the inwards technique. Now we're going to do it off the back arm. So it's a much bigger technique. The level of swing here is going to be huge. And obviously you wouldn't necessarily start with that move. Remember, a lot of the back leg kicks, the back arms, normally about finishing techniques rather than starting techniques. Front legs, front hands are designed for initial attack, maybe to open guards up. Then it's the back arms and the back legs that will do the big power strikes. And hopefully, if they're done properly, fast enough and effectively enough, they'll win the fight. So from guard position here, we're going to do, first of all, a little step. I'm going to get you to take your front foot and slide it diagonally across. For those that have watched the kicking routine on inwards crescent kick, you've learned this stance. There's actually a name for this stance. It's called a walking stance, okay, and it's taken from Taekwondo. To give you a rough idea, that's about a 1 shoulder width wide and about 1.5 shoulder width long. Front knee is bent, foot pointing forward, and the back foot at 45 degrees. I'll show you very quickly from here. But listen, don't worry too much about those exact measurements. It will give you a rough guide. Is from here, if you just step diagonally across, that's 45 degrees here. I've gone across rather than just forward. A lot of students step forward. It won't give you enough power. The hips won't come through. Step diagonally across. That opens the hips up super. This brings this arm through for us to be able to spin through. And a little bit of twist on the back foot as well. You might even find this back foot will drag through very slightly. That's okay. Okay, the main thing is you get these shoulders through. So from there, I'm going to slow it down so you can see it. Make sure you've got a little bit of extra room there. So slide out with the foot, start to bring the hand back. And if you can, as the hips come through, I've done the slide, then the hand starts to come through, and the body and the arm are all turning together. Now, we talked in the first part of this, on the front hand is the body is sideways on. Okay, and this one, we're aiming for the body to be sideways on again from here. So I'll show you from this angle there. We step, we turn. Again, it's often a little bit harder because your feet are in an awkward position. This foot's even turned out very, very slightly. If it does, it's fine, let it go. If this foot turns over, if it drags slightly, no problem. Okay, we just want to get this through as hard as we can, but with control. Now to start with, just do it as a movement. Learn to control the power. Again, what I see a lot of beginners do is this. If there's a bag in front, sure, the bag's going to stop it. If there's somebody in front, a human being in front, an enemy in front, it's going to stop you. But here we've got to learn to control it. For those that do black belt gradings, you would need to show this level of control here. Striking through, full power, but putting those brakes on. Okay, that's how we do off the back arm, that inwards knife hand strike. Let's have a go on the other side. So again, slow it down, step and turn, twisting that body. Really getting that body, so I'm attacking somebody here, side of the neck. I'm making sure that my body on impact will be sideways onto the opponent, okay? So from guard position there, we're going to come through. Which side are we on? I think we're on this side now, sorry. Here we go. Striking through, twisting through, getting this shoulder back in the guard position. Step and strike through, back to go. Remember, return to guard, it's going to be quick. You miss them, they block you, you need that guard back. So this is a move, like I said before, that you're going to end up doing really as a finishing piece. You've hopefully hit them a few times first, then that move finishes them off, okay? So from there, strike through, get the body spin, get that body turning. Now this is difficult to keep an eye on, okay, because your body is so turned. So again, with experience, you would be relying on that little bit of trust, experience at the end to take your eye off, but get your eye back on as soon as your guard starts to return. Let's have a go at 5 from this side. Ready? 1, get that body spin, look at the steps. Step, pivot, turn, arm is straight quite early. So again from here, the arm comes back bent, but as before, we open up as we come through and get that turn. You see that foot's turning a little bit, that's absolutely fine. That suits me. Swinging through, 3 more. Good. 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 Good, well done. So we've got an inwards knife hand strike off the front and an inwards knife hand strike off the back, making sure the thumb comes across. Well done.